Well, it does not look like it really rained much more last night, so that's a good thing. I did come back over here and put all those stumps in the burn pile, so I'm going to go over here this morning and sort through that and get that back going, and then I guess work on digging some more stumps up. Trying to get as much as I can done today. Fire's going back pretty good now. I'm gonna dig up some more stumps over here. I just have this area right here from that brush up there to where his skid steer is, to that pine tree to stump. What I'm going to try to do is get this stumped enough where I can at least haul that pile right there back down here. This ground right here should hold the truck up. And if I can figure out how to maybe get some of that stuff from the front down here, and just I don't care if it's dumped out right here, at least it'll be a lot closer to where it needs to be at, and then I can just kind of work on getting this graded out, and that up there is just gonna have to dry. It may have to wait till springtime, I don't know, but we'll just have to wait and see. Working on the last corner of stumps up here now. Robert's here, he is blading over that area that I have already stumped and raked yesterday. I really wouldn't say raked, more like pushed all the stumps up yesterday. Getting that leveled off a little bit, because if it does rain, it will kind of drain a little bit better and not be so many pools of water there. I am getting this stump so the truck can hopefully make it down here, and we're going to try to haul the rest of those piles down here this afternoon. That way that will be done. Then I'll pretty much be done with the truck out here. Didn't need it much, but definitely needed it. Get all this stuff picked up the best I can. Can't really rake much with the dozer since everything's so wet, so I just try to pick out what I can with the excavator, and then we'll blade over the rest and push it down the hill. Everything's getting buried down there anyways, all that logging deck mess, so all this will just end up in that, what doesn't burn. Grab lunch for us and come back and finish getting these stumps up and haul that. save what little bit of brush I have left to finish burning these stumps with. Alright, let me go grab lunch and I'll come back and finish this up. Try to put some stumps on the fire. Hopefully the wind stays blowing that way long enough for me to do so. Those are counterweight scratchers right there. Can't be doing none of that nonsense. This clay on this side's actually coming off the stumps pretty good, so not a whole lot of dirt left on them. Since the fire's not going to spread over here, I guess I need to grab some of this and start putting it on the fire. Dug up like 10 or 15 minutes ago, so they're still pretty wet. Try to mix in some of those drier ones that have been down there since I started the fire. Hopes that they will burn. I need to grab some of this drier brush and throw on there as well. So I've kind of changed my plan for today. I was looking at the weather again, and always got a plan on the weather. Robert's going to come over here a little bit. We'll let him try to grade some of that out on the other side over here where I don't have to drive anymore. Get that knocked down so when it does rain it won't fill up with water. And then going to try to haul that pile down from where I was loading out yesterday. I think I can come down right over here. Since I'm just stumping this ground now, it's still pretty solid. It hasn't rained on it yet. So I'm going to try to at least get that hauled down here so that it's closer. Maybe I can get that pile in the front. Might just have to push the truck back here, but we'll see if I can figure out a way. Go get a chain and just hook the D6 to it and just pull it around to where it needs to go. I don't know. Have to figure it out. We'll stump some more though. Well, it's time to load up this pile of mess and haul it back there. Robert has kind of bladed through that, knocked that down some. I dug up the last few stumps that were under that brush that I moved, and the stumps I moved yesterday before it got dark. I just loaded up that load. I'm hoping I can kind of back down to the left of that tree down there and dump that out. So let's see what happens on the maiden voyage here. Here goes nothing. Well, we're sliding. We're not exactly going where I want to go. Let me get angled a little better. This crap is just wet out here. I think it'll be all right once I get a path kind of rutted in. This is wet, but it's not so slimy because it hasn't been rained on. It's just been disturbed from digging it up today and the moisture that is already in the ground. Figure I can get as much as I can hauled back here. That way it'll be a lot closer to where it needs to go versus way up there. And the weather, they're calling for more rain, so who knows. I do know one more rain is going to be the end of this working out here though. So all this is just going to get dumped down here and spread out in this bottom and kind of fill this little valley in. I'll take down a couple more of those trees to waste it in there a little better and cover it up with that dirt. It'll be good topsoil in about 4 or 5 years. So far, so good. All right, I'm gonna go up here and load up another load and keep bringing it down here. Getting this stuff loaded out now. Forgot where the horn button was. Packed in here too. We're going to try to haul some of that stuff from the front as well. big load. Mix some of this in with that. Will the truck make it? That is the question. Drifting. So trying to get this pile up here at the old log deck. The ground is somewhat solid under it. It's just very slick on top of it. We can get some ruts made. This is going to be the problem area right here. Yep, that little bit of a hill. Got to keep wiggling. I'm gonna go pull the truck. It's a little wet. Nice thing about a 220, it's got enough power just to drag the truck to wherever you want it. Alright, let me finish loading this truck here and then see how much fun it's going to be to get it back across the area that it just came from. I should have stayed late the other day and moved all this when I was moving it. I missed a stump or two. But we can't work all the time, can we? I knew that it was going to be a disaster, though. I just figured it would have dried out some by now. Damn, I did leave a lot of stumps buried in all this crap. This is mostly pine straw and stick, so it's not too terribly heavy. Got it, or we stuck? might be a lost cause. If it makes it, I'll be happy. Is it gonna make it? Game over. Nope. This ain't gonna work. I ain't gonna sit here and fight it. I'll get this truckload dumped and let him grade this out. I missed the truck. Yeah, not gonna sit here and fight this. Might just have to dig a hole up there and bury it for all I care. Last pile of stumps going in the fire. So many stumps on this job. Dry brush, mix in there with it. Oh, they're sticky. Dry out. Then when I finish cleaning up everything else, I can flop the fire over again and should retain enough heat now. It's been burning for what, 3 days now, 2 days? Today's the 3rd day, so 3 days. It's nice and hot in there now. It might not be a raging fire, but it's a slow cooker. If all that stuff's on there, it'll just kind of slowly bake through it and burn down over time. Big grapple full, and that should be enough for that. Just kind of let that dry out. We did get, well, you can't see it behind the pile, but all that stuff hauled down here. Tried hauling the load from the front, and it's too wet. It's just going to be a nightmare. Tear up my truck. So I'm hoping it dries out enough where I'll be able to drive without getting stuck like that, but we'll just have to wait and see. I can't control the weather. Now I might have to dig a hole up there and bury it. I was trying to avoid that, but sometimes you gotta do what you got to do. Was one extra one than I said I was going to put on there, but it's there now. that's going to be a wrap for today. I finished getting all this over here stumped and all those stumps in the fire, but a couple right here. Doesn't look like it's burning that good, but it's actually pretty hot on the other side, so that'll burn down. We got all that hauled over here. That's going to get spread out. I might end up having to take that pine tree down right there to have enough room to spread all that out. But that's done, and like I said, all that is hauled down from that pile, and that is kind of bladed over, so hopefully it'll dry out a little bit. We'll just have to wait and see. Back over here this morning, I'm going to restack this fire and see if I can't get it back burning again. It didn't burn that great, but it dried it out some at least. And then I'm going to jump on the dozer and see if I can't do some grading up there. It hadn't dried out much, but every little bit I can spread out, it'll just dry out that much faster. So I got the fire back going down there, and I'm going to spend another hour or so on the dozer up front. It's pretty sandy right here, definitely not sandy right there. You can tell the difference between how well this drains and pure liquid right there is weird. But I'm trying to blade over this and get this flattened out so it will, if it's mud and you spread it out, it will dry a whole lot quicker versus standing puddles. So I'm trying to run over it with the dozer and get it knocked down, that way it can dry a little bit. Hopefully I can run over it again before it rains again. muddy, 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 but at least I got that knocked down, and I got all that kind of ran over a little bit, and then majority of the stuff back there in the back, I got that bladed down. So let it sit through the weekend and see what happens. If only the sun would come out, I think it would dry out some, but not today. Oh boy, look at these tracks. This one over here ain't no better either. I'm gonna be busy.